House of Philip shining light.
Grade 11's got the vibe. Cheerful hearts, we're here to drive. Join the chanting, step alive. House of Philip, feel the drive.
Great day, math fellas! Are you ready for your new adventure? Well, learning is already an adventure. Today, we are going to share to you our knowledge on the different methods used to solve the limits of a function. For now, ready your ears and mind to listen keenly on the information that we are about to say. So, let's get started!
What is limit of a function? Limit of a function is the value of a function as the input of the function gets closer or approaches some number.
This first method is helpful for estimating the limit just by looking at the graph of the function. If you look at this graph, can we figure out the limit of f of x as x approaches negative 4? We can see that the graph reaches this point in the y-axis from both sides, which seems to be just positive 3. But what about this graph? What is the limit of h of x as x approaches positive 6? And as you can see here, we have a positive superscript, meaning we are approaching from the right side. As you can see, that's negative 5. But consider this, what is the limit now if we approach from the left side? That would be negative 7. But what if we evaluate this at exactly h of 6? In cases like that, we just look for the closed circle. If you can't find it, it means it does not exist. However, in our case, it does, and it's exactly negative 5.
And I'll discuss the numerical method. Using the table of values, we can determine the limit of a function. With r given the limit of 3x squared plus 5x minus 4 as x approaches to 2, we can see that the value of our x is equals to 2, and that value we will place in the middle of our table, while we will fill the remaining x values with the numbers that are close to 2. Starting from the left side, we have 1.9, 1.99, 1.999, and on the right side, we will put 2.001, 2.01, and 2.1. In order to determine the value of our y, we will just simply input the value of our x into our given. So starting from the left side, the value of our y is 16.33, 17.83, 17.98, 18.01, 18.17, and 19.73. Looking at our table, we see that both sides are approaching into the same specific number. Therefore, we can conclude that the limit exists.
If we want to find the limit using the analytical method, we'd have to use the limit laws. Take for instance this problem. What is the limit of 3x squared plus 5x minus 4 as x approaches 2? Let's break this down. First, we use the sum and difference laws to evaluate these terms separately. Then, using the constant multiple law, we can take out the coefficients of the first and second terms outside. After that, we can find the limits of these individually. Using the power law, the limit of x as x approaches 2 to the power of 2 is 2 squared or 4. Using the identity law, the limit of x as x approaches 2 is just 2. And finally, using the constant law, the limit of 4 as x approaches 2 is just 4. Multiplying them with their coefficients, 3 times 4 is 12, 5 times 2 is 10, adding them and then subtracting 4 gives us our final limit of positive 18.
Let's take a look at this example. The limit of x times x plus 3 over x minus 2 times the cube root of 512 as x approaches to 4. In order to solve this, we should separate the terms individually and solve or evaluate it separately and multiply all the counted up answers at the end of the process. In the first function, the theory we're in when the value of f of x is equal to x, then the value of the limit is equal to the value of c. Or in other terms, substitute the value of x to c. So, the answer will be 4. The next theorem available is the quotient theorem, as it involves dividing. We need to separate the terms as we did on the first one. Other than that, we have the root or the radical theorem. Lastly, the multiplication theorem, as we are multiplying evaluated terms in the mere process. So, bring down 4 times 4 plus 3 over 4 minus 2 times the cube root of 512. So, it will be equal to 4 times 7 over 2 times 8 is equal to 4 over 1 times 7 over 2 times 8 over 1. So it is all equal to 4 times 7 times 8, 224 over 2 equals 112. And that's it.
Now, let's recall what we have learned. The limit of a function is a fundamental idea that explains how function behaves when its input approaches to specific value. There are three ways to evaluate limit of a function. First one is numerical method. Second is graphical method. And the third one is analytical method. In numerical method, we use table of values to evaluate limits of a function. While in graphical method, we use graph to evaluate limits of a function. And lastly, in analytical method, we use the limit laws to determine limits of a function.
Laughs and lessons in the hall, books and pen are tools so bright. Teacher's wisdom watch us all.
House of Philip shining light.
Grade 11's got the vibe. Cheerful hearts, we're here to try. Join the chanting, step alive. House of Philip, feel the joy.